Strange Adventure.
Samuel Marsden, the missionary, was sad as he talked with his old friend Captain Williams of the Bark Sea Breeze. From the little mission, the two men could look out over the calm waters of Wangora Bay on the west coast of New Zealand. The whole country was writhing with tribal wars, and this year of 1827 was to be written as a bloody page in the island's history. A reign of terror had been created by a Maori chief named Hangai, who had once been a close friend of Marsden.
I can't understand it, Captain. Hangai was such a mild, peaceful man a few years ago. I remember the day I recommended him to assist Professor Lee in compiling a Maori vocabulary. Perhaps that trip to England was his undoing. While he was there, he was honored at parties and presented to the king. The king little knew when he gave this cannibal chief a coat of chain armor and a sword that his gift would wreck a nation.
Captain Williams glanced toward the jungle that bordered the shore. Soon this jungle would be seething with a great battle, for Hangai, the savage in armor, was moving to attack his former allies, the Wangorans. The shipmaster, too, remembered Hangai, for it was his vessel that had brought the cruel chief from Sydney. It was in Sydney that Hangai had formulated his plans, and where he had bought the 300 muskets and ammunition. Upon his return to his home on the Bay of Islands, Hangai had set out on the road to conquest, and by leading the attack, wearing the suit of armor. Near and far the chain-clad savage struck, until the whole of North Island trembled at his name. Now he was about to attack the Wangorans, and the defenders were rushing toward their posts, preparing for a battle to the death. Suddenly the air was rent by a volley of gunfire. The battle had begun. From their vantage point on the hill, the men could see a part of the terrible struggle. They saw a small man, clad only in a loincloth, leading the attacking wave of savages. The captain spoke to his friend.
Look, Marsden, Hangai's not wearing his armor. I wonder why. So do I. The armor is probably too rusty now to be any good. Or perhaps he's confident that his presence alone will conquer the Wangorans. His overconfidence may someday be his death.
Both men were awe-stricken at what happened next. Many of the guns failed to fire, and the spears and war axes of the defenders began taking a bloody toll. Everything seemed to go wrong in Hangai's ranks. The chief tried to rally his men to organize a charge on the stronghold. He plunged ahead, waving his arms frantically. Marsden and Captain Williams saw the conqueror stumble, try to regain his balance, then fall to the ground and lie still. This savage in armor who had set out to conquer New Zealand lingered 15 months in agony before he died, shot in the back by one of his own men. Such was the fate of another man who would make himself king. This is Pat McGeehan in Hollywood, California, saying goodbye from my writer Charles Crowder and inviting you to listen again to another tale of
Strange Adventure.